Good. And, of course, Kevin Sherry spotting for us up here in the booth. For Donnie Jedrick and Carlos Zofko, Matt Fargo saying thanks so much for listening to this presentation of the 5A PIAA semifinal. Coming up next, WPIL Tonight with the man, the myth, and the legend, Paul Alexander. He'll have you all the way up into our network pregame, where we'll be back on the air here from Mansion Park Stadium in Altoona for the kickoff of the 6A PIAA semifinal as the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings meet the Harrisburg Cougars. More high school football to come, but this one is closed. Bishop McDevitt 31, Peters Township 28, and you've been hearing it all here, powered by Bowser Chevrolet on the flagship station of the WPIL News Radio, KDKA.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast has been brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The holidays were tricky for the Colonel. He loved people, but he also loved peace and quiet. So he cooked up KFC's $4.99 chicken pot pie. Warm, flaky, with savory sauce and vegetables. It's a tender chicken-filled excuse to get some time to yourself and step away from decking the halls, whatever that means. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. KFC's Chicken Pot Pie. The best $4.99 you'll spend this season.
Prices and participation may vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
It's time now for WPIAL Tonight. Let's run down the scores from around the league. Here's Paul Alexander and Carlos Zofko.
And welcome into our Green Tree Studios. Man, that one hurts. Painful way for the Indians of Peters Township to go down. I knew one thing at halftime when they were down 21-10. And keep in mind, Bishop McDevitt, the defending 5A champion in the PIAA, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Cut to 14-3, and then at half it's 21-10. And the one thing Bishop McDevitt did every time that Peters kind of made some headway, they didn't take their first lead until it was 25-21. But every time that Peters Township kind of made it like, okay, we're where we need to be. We're right where we should be. We have the lead. We have the ball. We have this. We have that. But, man, Bishop McDevitt, they had just big play after big play. 48-yard touchdown, 40-yard pass play in that last drive to set up the game-winning field goal. They were just answering everything that Peters had. And I loved Coach Wechter, by the way, 301 wins at Bishop McDevitt. And they're a big-time program. And guess what? So's Peters Township. P.J. Plack doing an outstanding job. And to hear what it was last year's WPIL championship game, that we all came away going, Nolan DeLucia might be the toughest guy we've ever seen play football. So here's a guy, Bishop McDevitt. They're kind of a storied program. I mean, they're a big time high school football program in the central part of the state. They're a perennial state champion contending like program and team. Their head coach has 301 career victories. That's a number. I know that Jimmy Render has 400 plus, but 300's nothing to sneeze at in any way. And he said that Nolan DeLucia might very well be the toughest kid he's ever coached against. And is Donnie, and it was so good. How about our guys today? Of course, we wish we had Josh and the coach available today. They both had situations that prevented him from being with us today. But Matt Fargo stepped in and stepped up. Donnie Football stepped in and stepped up. And Carlos Zofko stepped in and stepped up. And if you're concerned, about what you heard at halftime, you're like, man, that's not the halftime guy. I get it. Greg Finley will be here. We're going to be with you up until 5 o'clock, and then we have an hour program that we have to run, and we're happy to be able to do so. And then at 6 o'clock, we'll be back with you with our pregame show for the nightcap, and that is Central Catholic against Harrisburg. And I have a feeling if you liked what you heard in Game 1, despite the outcome, despite the final score, despite the result, what a game. What a fantastic game. But the point I was trying to make, I thought Matt and Donnie were outstanding along with Carlo. They just did a great job. You know, it's all about, I mean, that's the way sports is. It's next man up. And our guys stepped up. And I thought they sounded great. And the game probably went a little longer than they had hoped because I need to get those guys back in place. Although they may stagger to the start, and that's fine. You know, doing 2 games in a day, I'll have plenty of understanding and leeway if they're not as available as I would hope they would be for our pregame show for the Central Catholic 6A semifinal that starts at 7. We get back with you with football at 6. You know how we always do on Friday nights. We always have an hour pregame. And normally our lineup would be the coach, Johnny Lee. Then I'd grab Donnie Football, and then I would grab Josh Roundtree. So now it would hopefully be Carlo to lead it off, Donnie, either way. Those two just give us a take on what to expect in the 6A semifinal. And then we'll get some thoughts from Matt, who did an outstanding job of the play-by-play, which all those roles, I've done them all. Actually, yeah, I've done a lot of color, done a lot of sideline, and a lot of play-by-play. Play-by-play is obviously the most challenging just because you really have to be on top of your chart. You really have to be on top of the starting lineups, and it's one thing if you're the voice of a team, you know, like the great Billy Hillgrove. You know, he was the voice of the Steelers and still the voice of Pitt. So he knows his team inside and out. You know, he does them every week. He just has to learn, you know, the opposition. And, you know, you have your division, certainly, in the NFL, where you're going to play the Browns twice, the Ravens twice, and the Bengals twice. But when you have to go into 2 games, like Matt's doing today, and then, you know, you're getting completely foreign territory when you're doing, you know, the central or the eastern part of the state, it's just a whole lot of work. And we all have a different way of, and I'm old school, and I think Matt's a little old school too. I know Pomp is when he does the Steeler pregame shows, the Steeler preseason games. And those are hard. You have a roster of like 90-some guys on each side. And by the end of the game, they're all getting in. So that's crazy, all that you have to know. But that was a long-winded way of going around to say those guys did a great job. Just an outstanding job. I mean, no question about the job they did today. And they have one more for you. So that's just the breakdown. I'll take us up until 5 o'clock, just with some recap, keep you abreast of what's going on. That Peters game was pretty outstanding. Unfortunately, we did not have a good day so far today. Seton LaSalle falls to Farrell, 40-19, the final in that one. That game was played at Elwood City. So Farrell, the Steelers, yeah, they go by the moniker Steelers, pretty legendary squad. Their 7th state final appearance. So they're no strangers. But when we did Seton last week, the cool thing was how young. I mean, how unbelievably young. Their leading passer, receiver, and rusher, all sophomores. So Seton and Tim Storino maybe a little bit ahead of schedule in terms of getting as deep as they did into the postseason and winning the WPIAL championship, which, if you're not familiar with how this works, we make a big deal about the WPIAL championship, and I love it. I do. However, it is actually now, most are just quarterfinal games for your state championship run. So while we crown you WPIAL champs, which is cool, you're a district champion, basically. But I've always thought that was hard for our teams like Seton. You know, they played at Acrisure last week, and today they're at Elwood City. So, I mean, I know it's the same size football field. I know that a state championship is bigger than a WPIL championship, but it feels to me like at that age, it has to be such a psychological letdown. You're going from the dream of playing where Pitt plays, where the Steelers play, where all the legends have played, to Elwood City. Nothing against Elwood City. I mean, that would be any high school. And I really think we had, a great discussion last week with Carlo. I think Mike White jumped in a little bit. I know Matt was involved in it. Playing the state championship games at Cumberland Valley High School. What are we doing? I mean, Pennsylvania, maybe it's not Florida, Texas, or Ohio, and there's some other states that may do a little better than we do in terms of the overall product and the overall excitement for high school football. But you know what? We're not slouches either. Pennsylvania, in general, has produced some of the greatest football players in history. All you need to do is check out the Hall of Fame. Check out Canton. Check out the college, football Hall of Fame. Any Hall of Fame you want to check out, we are well represented. We have produced this area in particular. I'll hold Western Pennsylvania up against anyone for overall greatness. And how about per capita greatness? Meaning we don't have, Texas, that population in Texas is out of control. I mean, if you've ever been in that Dallas area or some of the other areas of Texas, it's just huge. And I know Philadelphia has a much bigger population than we do. Maybe they've, I can't even think offhand of the great, football players that they've produced, but I'm sure they have. My point being, can't we do better than Cumberland Valley High School after we play the WPIL finals at Acrisure? And I know there's two now that we go to 6 classifications, which is also unfair to Pittsburgh. We don't have the population to do 6 classifications. We're doing it because Philadelphia has 6 and they have the population to make that work. So anyway, I just think that there's a letdown after if you're one of the 4 teams that gets to play at Acrisure, and they rotate it. This year, 2 of the championships at Pine Richland. We did all 6 of them for you. And 4 at Acrisure last week. We had a great Saturday there last week. And Peters probably had the game of the day, trailing 19-0 at half, coming back to win 20-19. They were down 21-10 at half, come back, take a lead 25-21, only to see that go to 28-25. They tied at 28. And then in the final moment of the game, the very end of the game, it is Aiden Krella with the game-winning field goal to send McDivitt to the state championship game, which now they can try to successfully defend. So there will be a new 6A champion. Again, we'll get you ready for Central and Harrisburg. From 6 until 7, we'll get you completely tuned and ready for that. With all of the guys, they're going to go step out, relax. Carlo Press to get a little bit warm after being outside all day. Mansion Park's a good facility. They played some state championships there back in the day. So Mansion's a great facility. Those guys, I'm sure, are going to find a nice spot to go grab a bite and kind of re-energize, reinvigorate, and reset, because that's what we need to do, because we have the 6A semifinal between Central Catholic and Harrisburg coming up right here on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Your source for the AccuWeather forecast. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Both customers and local business owners can enjoy the rewards of Small Business Saturday. Starting this Friday, visit EV True Value in Bethel Park for 20% off Harmony Organic Insect Control, Sniper, your hospital-grade virus killer, and Knockout, your multi-purpose odor eliminator. Keep everyone in the family, including your pets, safe with Sniper. Stay ahead of the germs and viruses. Simply spray and walk away. 20% off sale good at all participating True Value hardware stores.
You want to be the big hero this holiday season? Give a gift they'll never forget. Instead of just more stuff, give them an incredible experience. Imagine their faces when they learn they're spending a week lounging in a private lazy river in the Outer Banks, splashing in the indoor pool of a massive Deep Creek lake home, or waking up to the waves from an oceanfront condo in Myrtle Beach. The best gifts are memories. Visit SWACvacations.com today to book your dream summer 2026 getaway. SWAC, SWACK vacations.com.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Just a quick question. Does it encrypt your online traffic the same as NordVPN?
No, but it protects your device. Just pop that CD in and you're good to go.
But it will stop your internet service provider and other snoopers from monitoring you online, right?
Oh, no, not really. It won't stop online snoopers or block annoying ads. In fact, forget what I said at the beginning of this ad. This ad is now about NordVPN. I just realized that an antivirus is only half protection online. So get better online protection with the NordVPN Black Friday deal. It will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. This Black Friday, get NordVPN with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months. Yeah!
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
It's Marty Griffin. I have seen so much angst and anger these days that, you know what's overwhelmed me with joy and optimism? This Get Marty. The folks in this community that have stepped up. You can't help your neighbor if you hate your neighbor. Get Marty epitomizes that opportunity to help people, feed people, clothe people, educate people. If you need me, get Marty at KDKRadio.com.
Get Marty is presented by Phil DeLuceni and Associates, Levin Furniture, UPMC Health System, CNS Construction, John Keefe Restaurant Group of Oakmont, and by Robert Pierce and Associates.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Join KDKA's Marty Griffin live at Giant Eagle and Robinson this Giving Tuesday. Every dollar you give to the Salvation Army today brings joy to someone in need, helping provide food, shelter, utilities, and more. Text the word kettle to 31333 or visit salvationarmywpa.org to give with joy today. PA 211 is a free confidential service available 24/7. If you're facing challenges with basic needs like food, insecurity, housing, or utility bills, help is just a phone call away. Dial 211 or go online to pa211.org to connect with local resources today. Support the Marines this holiday season. Drop off a new toy at Monticello's in Wexford or Monticello's on Babcock Boulevard. Your donation provides a gift for the region's less fortunate children.
Details at KDKARadio.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is certified elder law attorney Julian Gray, and I've been helping Pittsburghers for 30 years navigating the legal issues surrounding aging. Get ready for your retirement years and what lies ahead with a no-obligation consultation. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
Retirement, it's almost here. Are you ready? Well, join Kurt Kanodik and Ethan Lane of Accurate Solutions Group for your retirement blueprint. Let Kurt and Ethan help you plan for your retirement dreams. Don't miss your retirement blueprint Sundays at 10. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management, LLC.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Now back to WPIAL Tonight.
And welcome back. Paul Alexander with you as we get you kind of set for what's to come. We will have the 6A semifinal. That'll feature the Vikings of Central Catholic taking on Harrisburg. They're going to kick that off shortly after 7. We'll have a regulation kind of pregame show coming up at 6 o'clock. We need to get you to 5 o'clock. We have some essential programming that we're going to run until 5 until 6, and then we'll come right back at you with our pregame show. Then the game itself, and then we'll have our Saturday of high school football in the books. Recapping the weekend as a whole, in 1A, Clairton did not, and I mean did not, mess around with Greenville. 57-0 the final in that one, 43-0 at the half. So obviously the mercy rule in effect. They will take on a very strong program from the Altoona area, Bishop Guilfoyle, and they'll meet on Thursday in that championship game. In 2A, unfortunately, Seton LaSalle, their Cinderella story ends a little bit prematurely. Farrell, a little too much today, 40-19, the final there. For Farrell, pretty legendary in a lot of ways. Their 7th state final they have earned today by beating Seton LaSalle. 40-19, the final in that one. As we mentioned, and we talked about it last week, I did the Seton LaSalle Steel Valley game, and Steel Valley they arrived a little bit early, not prematurely. There's a difference. They got a little better than a lot of people anticipated a little bit sooner. Their 3 most productive players, the largest producing passer, receiver, and rusher, all sophomores. So that bodes well for Tim Storino and the Rebels of Seton LaSalle as they make a nice deep run after a WPIL championship. They fall to Farrell today by the score of 40-19. In 3A, a team that many, and I don't respect many more opinions on high school football than I do Bill Chirpek, and after Avonworth took care of his TJ squad, he said that they would be the best team in 4A. So the Avonworth Antelopes making a very nice and a very solid run in the 3A category, 31-15 over Penn Cambria, and Duke John Corn Company just rolling. And this is coming after a season in which they went all the way to the state final, and they lost in overtime. A heartbreaking loss in overtime. But they are, believe me when I tell you, having seen and I did a couple Avonworth games last year, and I've seen several of their games this year. They're better this year. They're a better football team this year than they were last year. And now getting into the lexicon of big-time high school coaches locally, Duke John Corr is right there. I mean, his program. And the one thing I still try to mull over, and I love it, they don't hit during the week. I don't know if they hit it all at camp. They may hit a little bit, but they do not hit during the week, and they must really save it up. You will not find a harder-hitting bunch or a more aggressive team in terms of physicality than Avonworth. So he should be writing a book or doing a clinic or doing something because, when you make a deep run into the playoffs, think about it. These guys, they lift all year round, do some 7-on-7 in the spring, and then summer, it's not much of a summer because you're still lifting, running, and then not too much into August, maybe even into late July. I mean, you're doing the camp thing. And if you're hitting like we did in high school, I can't imagine, there's many people that feel too well as you get into this part of, November and early December, because physically, I know these guys are young. They're 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. And it hurt back then. I can't remember that. I remember it hurt. So I just think it's a pretty cool concept. If he's revolutionizing the game in some way, I just think that's so cool. And he was the last quarterback at Churchill where I went and where his dad, Barry, who was an outstanding high school football coach. And then he was the first quarterback at Woodland Hills because of the merger that took place. So that had to be 85 or 86. The Duke was playing some quarterback. And I love last year. They had a pretty open offense and a pretty down-the-field offense. And then they went Wildcat. The Neal brothers just took over the Wildcat, and they literally turned their offense into Wildcat left, Wildcat right. That's just all they did, and that's all they needed. This year, a lot more diversified, but they would go to the Wildcat periodically. And watching some of the Pitt game that I saw today, dang, Miami goes to their Wildcat, but they throw it out of the Wildcat. It's funny. As much as we think football's always, progressing and it's becoming revolutionary and, so dynamic, and it's nothing's new. I mean, the old wing tee and, all the things that they ran back in the day comes back again. And it still comes down to running it, stopping the run, protecting it, winning in the trenches. Don't make stupid mistakes. I mean, that's still outwork and out-hit your opponent. I mean, I love the fact that it is a chess game in so many ways, but it's not as unbelievably advanced as a lot of us are led to believe. All right, so Avonworth, a very familiar state championship participant. Southern Columbia stands between Avonworth and a state championship. They will play that game on Friday, Avonworth and Southern Columbia. And Aliquippa going deep, winning another WPIAL championship as a 7th seed, which is amazing because that's just who they are. But they come up short 28-24 last night. They're in Mifflin, PA last night, 190 miles away to lose to Twin Valley. So Aliquippa's done for the year. Seton LaSalle is done for the year. Clareton and Avonworth, they will march on. Peters, unfortunately, at the buzzer, comes up on the short end, 31-28 to a very worthy defending champion, Bishop McDivitt Crusader squad that got the job done today at Altoona's Mansion Park. Paul Alexander with you. We have an hour of programming that we're going to give to you at 5 o'clock, and then we will be right back with you at 6 o'clock for a conventional pregame show as we set the stage for the 6A final between the Vikings of Central Catholic and Harrisburg, and that game will kick off shortly after 7 o'clock with our newly assembled team of Matt Fargo doing play-by-play, Donnie Football with expert color analysis, and Carlo Zofko with insightful sideline reporting. And we'll be back here. Greg Finley will have halftime for you at that game, and then we'll see what next week brings. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see who plays who where, and we will go from there. I'm going to take another time out. We are doing a lot of high school football for you on this Saturday, and we're going to get you ready for Central Catholic and Harrisburg. That game kicks off at 7 o'clock. I'll be with you until 5, and then I'll be right back with you at 6. We'll have a pregame show for you, 6 until 7, as we get set for a 6A semifinal. All of that and plenty more right here on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Experience casino like never before at Bet365. Spin your way through your favorite games. Check out our awesome table games and face off against a real live dealer. And play exclusive games that you simply can't play anywhere else. New Bet365 players get a 100% deposit match bonus up to $1,000 plus spins. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T&Cs apply.
Have a house you're ready to sell? Ryan Shalaba here with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. Over a decade in business and 175 plus 5-star reviews, we've helped people in all different situations get the most money out of their house when they need it. We'll save you time, money, and stress, and we'll even help you move. Call 412-500-9057. We'll get you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. That's 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersofpittsburgh.com today.
My name is Emma. I am 13 years old. 6 years ago, I was injured in a car accident that left me paralyzed from the waist down. Once I completed rehab, my mom applied for a canine companion service dog. Last January, I finally got to meet my service dog, Marcia. We quickly developed a very strong bond. Together, we go to my horseback riding lessons, school band practice, swim meets, and archery classes. Together, we pick vegetables, and we like to cut flowers. I love Marcia. She makes me feel like together we can do anything. I can't imagine life without her. She's a part of the family. We are just one of the thousands of teams Canine Companions has paired together over the past 50 years. With your help, we can continue for another 50. Visit canine.org to see the many ways you can change lives.
I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Only 1 in 5 people with disabilities, including those with autism, are employed, despite many having the skill set and desire to work.
Maybe it's because employers don't know what kind of jobs they can do?
Okay, try me.
What about a programmer?
That is a job for someone with autism.
What about a teacher?
That is a job for someone with autism.
Oh, how about a healthcare worker?
Yes, those are all jobs for someone with autism. The truth is, qualified people with autism can do a lot of different jobs, but often get overlooked due to outdated stigmas and beliefs. Businesses value diversity, but sometimes don't recognize the unique strengths and abilities of the autism community. Introducing WIN, the Workplace Inclusion Now program by Autism Speaks. We help businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring.
Ooh, what about a ranch hand?
Yeah! Sure, that's a job for someone with autism too. To learn more, go to autismspeaks.org/win. That's autismspeaks.org/win.
New to Medicare, get covered with MediConnect. Listen Wednesdays around 1:40 to hear Lance O'Brien of MediConnect help you navigate the Medicare process. Simply great, unbiased information to get you the best healthcare coverage. Get covered with MediConnect. Medicare made simple.
The Colorectal Cancer Alliance wants you to know a lot of things in life are preventable. Ooh, gas station sushi! That's preventable. And even colon cancer can be preventable if you get screened. If you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor. Go to colorectalcancer.org to learn more.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
time now for WPIAL Tonight. Let's run down the scores from around the league. Here's Paul Alexander and Carlos Avco.
Snap is low. It's fielded. The kick is on its way. The kick is good. And Bishop McDevitt heads back to the state championship. Aiden Grella runs all the way back to his 20-yard line, celebrating as McDevitt hands Peters a heartbreaker. 31-28, the final score.
And that's the way our 5A semifinal went down right here on KDK. Matt Fargo on the call. And it was a tough one. It was a heck of a game. Once again, a slow start for Peters, much like they did in the WPIL final with Pine Richland. They were down 19-0 in that one, came all the way back to win it 20-19. So they go down 14-0 to get started, 14-3, and then it's 14-10, then 21-10. They gave up yet again. And that's what McDevitt kept doing. When Peters would make a substantial move in the right direction, McDevitt had an answer. So they go into the locker room at half, 21-10. And P.J. Plack, obviously, after what happened last weekend, that's why it's really good for a coach to know that his team can be resilient and can handle adversity. You're down to a very explosive Pine Richland team, 19-0 at half in a championship game, in a winner-go-home, winner-play-basketball, scenario. And they came all the way back and won it 20-19. So I would imagine every kid in that locker room, all the coaches, the staff, everybody, all the supporters, all the support staff, they're like, we've been here, we've done this, we got this. And sure enough, it looked like they did, especially when they come back and take the lead 25-21. You're thinking, okay, this is going to be good because there were some good things happening.
Trip to the 5A state championship is on the line. It's the champs from the WPIAL, the Peters Township Indians, taking on the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, the champs from District 3, and the defending 5A state champions, all here on News Radio KDKA.
Matt Fargo's setting the scene. He'll be doing the same thing for Central Catholic and Harrisburg. I was actually, I'm not going to pretend that was on purpose. That was something that I was looking for. Here was when the Peters was mounting the comeback.
Right, he hands it off to Newpaver. Newpaver walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Peters Township, 6 yards away. And here come the Indians.
Here come the Indians, but unfortunately, here's what happened every time the Indians would make a statement. This would be the answer from Bishop McDevitt.
And a handoff right up the middle. It's Jones. Davis breaks free, and he's in for a touchdown, 42 yards.
Yeah, chunk plays, 42 yards. And their last game-winning drive, which set up the field goal, they only had under 2 minutes. I mean, they did a nice job, did Peters, with getting that go-ahead score, to tie it up even at 28. They came down and tied it up at 28. And they thought they were at the very least going to take it to overtime if they could get, a stamp, because their defense has been rock solid all year long. But they had a 40-yard chunk play in that series as well, did Bishop McDevitt. So they will be going to try to successfully defend their state title in 5A. So all in all, not a great day. We had a pretty good night last night. Recapping, if you're just joining us, in 1A last night, Friday Night Lights, it was Clairton over Greenville. The final was 57-0. Clairton Bears with a flex there. They led at half, 43-0. 6 first-half touchdowns. They were explosive. The speed had to just blow Greenville's minds. The speed that Clairton brings is extensive. It's a big deal, and it's very hard. As they say, speed kills. I mean, there's one thing. I know you can refine it, you can improve it, but you can't teach it. Been around athletes my whole life. Just, when you grew up as a kid, there were some guys that were fast and some guys that weren't, right? And while, again, when you get to be elite at something, you're going to work to get even better. You're going to improve your stride, your technique, maybe your how low you stay, things like that. You can definitely, there's speed camps, and there's all sorts of workouts where you can improve your speed, but you're not going to go from a 5 flat 40 to a 4.3 40 with coaching. If you were born a 5 flat guy, you're not going to ever become a 4.3 guy. That's just not going to happen. If you're a 4.5 guy and you work really hard through weight training and agility training and all the other things that's available, yeah, maybe you see 4.3 or 4.25 or something crazy like that. But speed is something that most of us are either, well, I was a without guy, not a with. You're either born with or without. But the speed of the Clairton Bears, when you mercy roll a team at this point in the season, this deep into the playoffs, that's impressive. So they win it 57-0. Game from today didn't work out, unfortunately, very well for Seton LaSalle. But, boy, their future looks bright. They lose to Farrell 40-19 in a game played at Elwood City. Flurries flying at Elwood City today. It looked like a really cool atmosphere. But 40-19, the final there. Farrell going to a 7th state final. And there was talk that Farrell, a former WPIL member, was going to come back. But I guess they were voted not now. What the vote said was not now. So I don't know exactly what's the bottom of that. I didn't look too deep into that. I knew they had petitioned the WPIL for reinstatement, and I believe that was denied. So I'll dig a little deeper into that for next time. Also last night, some good news. The Lopes of Avonworth, the Antelopes, take care of Pencambria 31-15, and that team was on a mission from last year's state final loss in overtime. They were playing so well last year down the stretch, and it was a heck of a game that simply just ran out of time, ran out of plays. It was just a heck of a game. And you lose a state final in overtime, yeah, it stings, but, man, you gave it your all. You left it all out there. But the amazing thing to me, after what they did last year, they're even better this year. And that's crazy to me. But sure enough, I mean, they're undefeated, unblemished, and they beat Pencambria 31-15. But, man, in their way stands one of those legendary state title contending programs, Southern Columbia. So it's not going to be a gift. We've sung the praises, at least I have, of Duke Johncore. He has certainly put himself up into that pantheon of great. I mean great. I don't throw that word around loosely. I don't use it haphazardly. He is a great, and I mean great, high school football coach. And anxious to see what's ahead for Avonworth and the Lopes, as they still have one Neal brother, Luca, getting it done. They had 2 of them last year, just one this year, but pretty incredible stuff. Aliquippa came up short last night, 28-24. But this was another Aliquippa story. They were a 7 seed. They were actually kind of on the outside looking in during parts of the season. I mean, outside the playoff sphere, looking in and seeing if they could get there. And sure enough, they were a wild card, a 7 seed. They win a WPIL title, but they come up 4 points short against Twin Valley last night, 28-24. The final in that one. Central Catholic has not really been tested so far this year. They are really they're a really, really good football team, and they have a great coaching staff. I believe that there's a lot in their favor. St. Joe's Prep, which seems to be a big, big roadblock to state championships in 6A, they're out. They got knocked off early. So if Central Catholic, which I know that's their dream every year, win the WPIL, win a state championship, and they took care of business so far, but they would definitely like to complete, the cherry on top. You want that gold ball that they present to the state champions. You don't want the silver one. You want the gold one. And you got to get there to get it. and they have that opportunity tonight, and Harrisburg will not be a gimme by any stretch. It's going to be, I think, a lot like we saw in Game 1, or heard in Game 1. This is still on the radio side. We throw a lot of video out there. We throw a lot of things out there for you to take a look at. But, we have Ben Tenuta to do that. And I'm sure you're going to get a great visual of what happened in that 5A game. And it was a great one. I mean, that is a great football game. A great game-winning drive put together by Bishop McDevitt. And they kicked the game-winning field goal with 1 second left in the game. And they're so well coached. I loved what I heard after the game. We heard from their 301-win coach and Coach Wechter. And to me, there's a lot of things that you can say. A lot of things that you can say that, if you're a parent or a coach, it does the heart good when you hear certain things said about your kid, your pupil, your student, your whatever. And Coach Wechter, when he talked with Carlos Zofko after the game, said, I think that Nolan DeLucia might very well be the toughest kid we've ever seen, that we've ever played, that I've ever coached against. And I'll tell you what, we saw that last year in the WPIL final when he was just getting pounded, and he never, ever quit. Same thing today. And here's what I love about that kid. He's going to Villanova, by the way, and they're getting a great one. The way that he competes on defense, the way that he hits on defense, I mean, he's absolutely incredible. And he's a heck of a quarterback. And I think he's going to have a great career at Villanova. And who knows? Let's see. Villanova. You guys probably didn't know this one. Let me grab Mike Hodgetts real quick. Mike, I know you're a big sports guy. Can you think of any NFL Hall of Famer that may or may not have gone to Villanova?
Not at the top of my head.
Because, you're thinking like Nolan DeLucia's going to Villanova, and you're thinking, his football career is going to end there. That's not always the case. All right, you're a little young. How about Howie Long? He was a pretty good player, right?
DN for the Raiders. Yes, he was.
Howie Long, Hall of Famer. You know where he played his college football? Now you do.
Brian Westbrook.
Villanova. There's another one. Absolutely. Good call there. And that's more recent, a little more current. So, don't go to sleep on Nolan DeLucia, who came, and Harrisburg. And these teams aren't strangers. They've met before. And it will be, in my opinion, one heck of a football game. And you're going to want to listen to it right here on KDKA. So excited to be able to bring it to you. Kind of a